Recording. Whew, where do we push the button?
We're recording.
I'm recording. Okay. Well, happy Halloween. Today is October 31st and it is month end. And I just want to share with you that I've just had a stirring in my spirit that I've been so emotional lately. That I wanted to share with you this morning, just from me to you, no co-host, just exactly some thoughts that I have about where we are right now in Mary Kay, where I've been, this journey and what worked for me, the little things that have made this be a success, and then where we're going. And as October 31st clocks down today, I just want y'all to know that as entrepreneurs, we are finishers. We never give up or give out before the final hour. So it doesn't really matter where you are today. It matters where you can be by midnight Central Time or 10 o'clock Central Time when the clock strikes and you finish your month. And I know Mary Durr, our newest Senior National Sales Director, she was in a class a year ago or 2 years ago, and the book Finish was recommended to her. And she not only read it, she sent it to her offsprings and just decided, by golly, hell or high water, I'm going to finish this puppy. And there is something that happens inside of you when you set a goal. I heard from Nicole Mariakis this morning. She's really chasing down the hostess contest and she's ranking really high. And I hadn't posted the ranking from us lately. And so I had my virtual assistant post it real quick. And then I got on and looked it up, and she's running. She said, I can get 3 more hostesses today. And I have been 3 people. I'm really going for a gold medal. And I thought, man, it was like vitamin B12 shot to my soul, because to hear this younger director understanding, month in, game on, the energy that can happen. And it usually happens when we're close to the finish. I got pulled over first. I didn't get a speeding ticket. Thank God he gave me a warning. But when I was coming back from somewhere far away, I think Dallas, I don't remember, Houston, but it's like I'd driven 4 or 5 hours. And when you get close to home, that's when you speed up, because you can feel the energy of walking in that door. It's like when you smell the food, that's when you get hungry. And the same thing is with this business. So go with it. Yes, I wish that we all launched hard the first of the month and by mid-month we had half, but typically the Mary Kay is going to get flooded with orders today because it's the last day of the month. So always launch hard. Tomorrow's the first day of the new month, but don't forget to finish strong. And that's just been a part of the journey for me, for my whole Mary Kay business. So let's just start off with what is the most important thing right now, and it's the 12 days of faith. And I've talked about this on my Cindy Williams NSD. I have a public Facebook page that I do most of my stuff on. And I'll be honest, it's because you can like me. I encourage you to like me. I don't post a ton, but a little bit so you can see my life. And I think I have the most awesome life in the world. And a little bit about Mary Kay. Like I posted, I voted yesterday. I'm super proud of that. And I hope we all will vote. It's vital, and little things. But I did post about the way I feel about this packaging. And for me, Cindy Williams, my history has always been a lot of gift sales. It started from an insecurity. When I was a new independent beauty consultant, I didn't wear makeup. I had pimple face. I had crazy hair. I didn't own a business suit. And this whole image thing freaked me out. I'm just going to tell you. And so my comfort zone was working with men, because that was my history. So think for a minute right now. You may need to go into your comfort zone. If you haven't been able to push yourself to stretch out of your comfort zone, which is normal of the flesh, we take the path of least resistance. Then what is your comfort zone? Who are the people that you already have a relationship with? The people that could use a gift service, a private personal consultant, a shopper. We offer that service. Not only do we have the best product for the best price, we offer our service, and our service is free. And nobody can give better service because we own the business. I pop out of this box. Everyone that buys this from me, they're not just going to get the gift, they're going to feel my energy, my love, my prayer that goes into wanting this to be received with the same amount of joy as I'm presenting it. And I do believe that energy is transferred into my gifts. So my whole Mary Kay business, I have done a lot of gift sales. And I will just be honest, most people don't do any. It takes a different kind of courage to do gift sales. But the way I've always thought about it is, and if you listen to Robin Rowland teach a few Saturdays ago, if I'm going to do business with you, it's only common courtesy and common sense that you would do business with me. It is definitely something I expect. And if you don't, it does hurt my feelings. But also I have the choice of doing business with someone else that will respect me and my business and my products. I've always felt that way. So I've always sought out to sell to people that I am giving my money to. So it started with I did payroll for 300 plumbers and pipe fitters at Fort Polk, Louisiana, before I joined Mary Kay. I knew all these guys and they knew me. When you did do their payroll, if they're married in 3 or single in 1, it was before computers and I did it on a 10 key. That's a lot of work. But I was the one girl on a little trailer house on a job site. I would wear a hard hat when I'd have to go outside because I was on a job site and I loved my job. I loved it. And remember, my history was I had never had a good job. I'd never had a job where I got to sit down and get paid. Every job I'd had before that, I was waiting tables, tending bar. I was a checker at Ben Franklin's where you couldn't sit down. So when I got a job where I could sit down and make more money than I'd ever made in my life, I was a happy camper. I would have probably never left the job if I didn't get married and have a baby. When I had my son, everything changed. I did not want to leave that baby. So I stayed home for a year. That's when I got restless. And that's when I joined Mary Kay. But remember, what was my comfort zone? One, it was all those guys at Fort Polk that I could call and say, hey, Joe, what are you going to get your wife for Christmas? And typically he would say, I don't know. And I would just say, Joe, I can make you a hero this year. I started my own business. When I left the job site at Fort Polk, I stayed home for a year and now I've launched my own business. And I do my best at everything. You worked with me all those years. You can depend on me to put together a beautiful gift. And I know what women would like. This business I started is Mary Kay, and I have beautiful spa products that I could put together for her. I just need a price range. I need to know what's it worth to you when she's really, really happy, because I believe she'll be really happy when she opens this gift, because you can't buy this in a store. She's going to know you took some time to think about what to give her, and we're emotional. You didn't get to run by and buy it at the last minute. This can only be exclusively purchased from me. And so, think about what's worth when she's really happy, Joe. And typically a guy will spend $100. And most of the guys I sold to back then, especially, they had their money in their front pocket in a little round circle. They didn't even have a wallet, and they would just peel off a $100 bill. I would put $85 into the product, gave me 15 for packaging, because packaging is vital. The packaging is what sells. Especially to men, they want to look like a hero when they present it. They don't really care what's in the package. They just want the woman to like it. And so the packaging became a big old part, a bear really, because I wanted it to be magnificent. And back it up a little bit. My history with Carmen and the Arizona team, the only way I even know them is my father, as you know, most of you, some of you, my mom was married many, many times. My childhood was colorful. I moved a lot as a child, a whole lot. But my dad was, parents lived in Sierra Vista, Arizona. So I have family in Arizona. That's how I know Mary Durr. Mary was married to Doc, my first cousin through my father. And so that's my connection to Arizona. I lost my train of thought of where I was going with Fort Polk. Somebody unmute and take me back. I don't remember, but anyway.
Yes, in comfort zone.
Yeah, who knows? But I was comfortable. Oh, I know. Thank you, Corby. When I lived in Arizona, my junior year of high school, I went to Buena High School in Sierra Vista because of that connection. It was too long of a story. But I worked for my Aunt Eleanor, Mary's mother-in-law. She owned a florist. So I learned how to make a bow and do a flower arrangement. I made $1 an hour or something. I mean, it was a high school part-time job, but I loved it. And I'm a Pac-Man for knowledge. That's a gift that I have. I love to learn and I want to be better. So when I worked for her, even though I was supposed to just deliver some flowers, and I grew into more and more because I said, can I learn how to make a bow? Can I watch you make that arrangement? Are you that girl? Are you watching everyone that's successful? Are you seeking and searching to figure out how it's going to work for you? That's what I was before Mary Kay. And I look back and think, why did this work? That great work ethic, that willingness to learn, that humble spirit, right? And so I could put together a gift basket, pretty well. I got a hot glue gun and without going, it doesn't matter. I made these beautiful baskets and I sold about 10K, 10,000 retail, which was 5K pure profit. And I'm telling you, that was a big part of my confidence and my competence. But I didn't have to match foundation color, pick eyeshadow. That had to come later. So all that being said, my history is I love gift sales. It's just easy money. And you build a residual income because these guys depend on you. And I typically worked with only men on gifts. I did sell a few women gifts, but that was never my target. I always targeted men because they were so much easier to work with and they paid me cash. But what's Mary Kay done? They put together this 12 Days of Fame. This is a game changer. This is my favorite thing they've ever done in my almost 39 years, because the packaging is done. That's the biggest time and the biggest expense. And you've all seen it, but on the back, every product is pictured. And then there's the ingredients and about it. So that's thebomb.com, okay? Then you slip the sleeve off and it's this beautiful, it's like a stave. Da, 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 da. I mean, it's magnificent. The presentation is breathtaking. And then there's 12 items in there, all beautifully packaged and fits together like in a puzzle. And to me, if you can't sell these, you better keep your day job. I'm just going to be honest. This is a no-brainer. This is a show and tell and sell because it's beautiful. The products they chose are magnificent. So without going into this, everyone should order 10 of these. That's about 500 wholesale. You get 20 of the hand sanitizers. I can't find mine this morning. I only have one right now in. And that's another 80. So you're right at 580. You add a microdermabrasion and you're at 600 wholesale. You get your beautiful necklace for the month of October and you get these products before they sell out. Bam. That's just, come on. That's just every independent sales director for sure. I am positive has already done that. Okay. I'm just sure of it. Those hand sanitizers, same thing. That's the best stocking stuffer for this year you could ever get. You are going to move those out. We're limited to 20 of those and 10 of these. So that would be my conversation today with my people, explaining to them. And the way I would also sell it is they don't need to replace this product. This is a gift sale. Who knows if they're even going to be available ever again. So that's pure profit they can put into their pocket. They sell it for $1,000. They just made $500 they can slip in their pocket. Another conversation would be to all of your prospects. For a $30 e-start, they could join, order 10 of these, 20 hand sanitizers and they're 50 retail, and they're at 600 wholesale. They get all that free product. OMG. Plus they get all of this. When they've sold that, I did the numbers with, I have a new team member. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But, I know it was your Lori. Carmen, Lori and I worked together and she wrote out all the numbers of exactly what people would get. And she was equipped and prepared to go finish her DIQ because if people say no to this, they're not interested. Move on. And even your existing team members, all of you listening that are consultants, if this is not something that turns you on, then really think about if you just want to be a secret agent, that's okay. You could give these for gifts. For $50, you're just giving the most magnificent gift and it exposes them to so many more products. The eye patches, which I did first thing this morning, I love them. The foundation primer, which I use every single day, the charcoal mask, the lip gloss, the lips, everything in here is just the little baby eye makeup remover, the microdermabrasion minis. Come on, this is, and we get there's section 2 in here. You're getting section 1 credit for it towards your star consultant prizes and towards double credit. That's never happened before. So yes, I'm passionate about it. And I don't understand why every consultant in our whole Williams Victory family has not already done that and ordered it. So bam, that's the first thing to talk about. And the hand sanitizers, that's a no-brainer. And then Star Consultant. I wore my ladder of success today just to tell you, for me, this was my personal commitment. I was going to be a Star Consultant every quarter, just like I know Carmen Felix, that you have been, many of us have been. That was just the bottom bar. So I encourage you to raise your bar on yourself. You're the business owner. You're the entrepreneur. You get to decide. I was talking to Callie DeBlander yesterday. She was the #1 sales director in the Ruby seminar. She may have been #1 in the nation. She's a rock star. And she sent me a recording of her and her mom training. I sent it out to all the sales directors and I said, if you listen to this and you want more information from Callie, let me know. And I heard from Teresa and I sent her back Callie's exact script because she'd already listened to Callie train, and I honored her for doing that. And then I gave her more information after that. Sales directors, if you want more from Callie, then let me know. You've already listened to her training. But we were talking about, she doesn't work weekends at all. She has 2 little kids. She lives on the beach. She hasn't worked weekends for years. But we talked back and forth, she said, but be clear, there could be a season when I only work weekends. She said, I am tapping it out Monday through Friday because I want to rock this business. I've designed my life so I can live my dream. But there's still a time commitment, a commitment. If you want to be a 6-figure income entrepreneurial woman that owns your own business, you're going to figure out when to work and how to work. And there is no cookie cutter. I'm about as unique as any person on the planet as you are. DNA stands for do not argue with your creator. He made you unique, quirky, just the way you are. So don't argue with that, but figure it out. So maybe start with the people you pay money to. Talk to them about the 12 days. It doesn't just have to be for Christmas. One of our consultants is a real estate agent and she's getting them to give to her homeowners. And so they can open up a gift every day for 12 days. The first 12 days they're in their home. Oh my God. And and Heather can say, I appreciate you so much. And I hope you think of me every day, these first 12 days. Thank you for your business and thank you for your referrals. OMG, she could do that with 20 houses. Or 10 houses, I guess we can only get 10, but that's just brilliant. So enough on that. And then I want to read this to you because this was moving to me. We all have a comfort zone. I used to have a comfort zone where I knew I couldn't fail. The same 4 walls and busy work were really more like jail. I longed so much to do the things I'd never done before, but I stayed inside my comfort zone and paced the same old floor. I said it didn't matter that I wasn't doing much. I said I didn't care for things like diamonds, cars, and such. I claimed to be so busy with the things inside my zone, but deep inside I longed for something special of my own. I couldn't let my life go by just watching others win. I held my breath and stepped outside to let the change begin. I took a step and with new strength I'd never felt before, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye. I closed and locked the door. If you are in a comfort zone, afraid to venture out, remember that all winners were at one time filled with doubt. A step or two and words of praise can make your dreams come true. Greet your future with a smile. Success is there for you. It was December the 8th, 1981, that I signed my independent beauty consultant agreement. December 82, I was still a happy camper. Went to a workshop that I hope and pray you're going to work to be with us in January. We are going to have leadership conference for our Victory family. You must be an independent sales director by October 31st, November 30th, or December 31st to join us. We're going to do it at a resort near San Antonio. You would fly on Friday the 15th, fly out on Monday the 18th. It'll start Friday night at 7 and it'll end at noon on Monday. The husbands are invited. It's a resort. They can golf. They can go play with Dean. We've had a lot of feedback that the husbands are coming. Stacey James National Area is going to join us. Not for the entire event. We will definitely have our own event, but partnering up with her, I love her and her directors. Plus, we want to fill the resort with all Mary Kay people. So that's a way we can do it. So that event could be a game changer. It is my final leadership conference as an active national sales director. And who knows, really, with everything that's happened, when we really can gather again. So Mary Kay's not doing leadership, but we are. So I hope that you will set your goal to join us. So in December 82, happy camper, went to a workshop, got frustrated. Sometimes you gotta have something stir inside of you that frustrates you to do more. Got my first gold medal in January of 1983. And I became an independent sales director May the 31st, 1983. Just didn't want to be a sales director, was scared to death of it, but I knew I was willing to do the work. This is the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. My esteem still needs a lot of work. I get scared. I compare myself to other people. I I just what it is. I've overcome a lot, but I still have that little girl that pops her ugly head up that says, who the heck do you think you are? Look at what you didn't do. Look what you could be doing, what you should be doing. And then this other girl pops her head up and says, Cindy Williams, you're the child of the king. You know, look at your gifting, look at what you're grateful for, get in your gratitude journal, read God's word. But it's a battle. It just, I don't think it'll ever go away, but that's okay, because that's what causes me to want to do more, be more, grow more, not become apathetic or lazy. I so want to keep growing into all God created me to be. And this Mary Kay journey has required it. I mean, for you to be a leader, it requires it. And you're all leaders. You're all influencing people. That's what the definition of leadership is. I love Darren Daly. I listen almost every day. It's such a spirit and, you know, to my soul. And he says, what is the definition of leadership? It's influence. You are influencing people every single day of your life. And I love the saying, we're not born winners or losers. We're all born learners. And who we learn from determines if we win or lose. So you're on today, you're learning and growing. So big congratulations. And then May 31st of 83, I finished qualifications. And because of my growth as a record-breaking DIQ, February, March, April, May, you had to do it in 3 months back then. Then I pushed my director to the first time she ever won a top director trip. That was Jackie Swank's first trip. And after that, she never, ever missed it again. But it was me shoving her over her belief, breaking that belief barrier. What are you doing for your director, for your national, to be that team player that pushes her over? So talk to your team and to your leader and say, where are we? What can I do today that can make a difference in your success? Because if you want to be a great team leader, you have got to be a great team player. That's why every time I see my directors supporting each other, going the extra mile to help somebody else when it doesn't really help them, I know that Mary Kay's culture is alive and well, and that we will never, ever lose what we've built. Mary Kay Ash took God as her partner, and she truly did want to bless your life and enrich your life. And part of it was financial. You guys, she wants us to be financially fit, frugal, independent, you know, living small so that we can have a rich life. And debt is a stronghold. And so get out of it. Go sell enough Mary Kay, build your business so that's not a stronghold on you. So I became a sales director in May 31st, 1983. So June was my first month as a sales director. And for all of you that want to be a sales director, my director, Jackie Swank, was a rock star, right? Drove a pink Cadillac. She earned the trip that year. And everybody would come to her sales meeting. And she would drive 3 hours to me. I lived in a little town in Louisiana, and she lived in a bigger city, but she would drive down and we would fill the room with consultants and guests because she was this big director, and I would sell everybody on her and everybody would come. When I became a director, I think my sister came to nobody came to my meeting. They didn't care what I had to say because they saw me as a sister consultant. That's just normal. You know, I had to go get brand new people that saw me as their sales director to really gain that respect, just like Jesus had to leave his hometown to get some attention. So don't worry about that. Your new people will understand it. And then that May the 31st, 1983, we finished qualifications. My husband was diagnosed with a terminal blood disease. We spent the next months in the hospital. Actually through December, Mary Kay Ash found us a doctor that ended up saving his life. That's a whole another long story. But my whole first year as a sales director, I was gone. I finished May 31st, Carl was diagnosed. We went into the hospital. That whole first year was crazy. We still finished number 12 in the Emerald Seminar. I look back and think, what if that had not happened? What would we have done? This little scared, pimple-faced girl with unruly hair, didn't own a business suit and couldn't do eyeshadow, didn't wear lipstick, didn't get my ears pierced until I'd won a Cadillac. What would have happened? But you can't change what happens or why it happens. But we were rocking it that first year. Earned a Cadillac. Then the next year we did Zero Club, because I left Louisiana, my customers, my unit, my business, my family, and I moved to Texas on a ranch in the middle of nowhere. and lived there for a couple of years. I call it the dark ages. It was the hardest season of my life, but no one knew it. Nobody knew it. And I still worked the business the best I could. But we did zero club. We went from a Cadillac to a Grand Achiever car, but I still had a car. The only thing worse than living in the middle of nowhere in your in-laws' house with all this situation with a car is without a car. So when that pink Cadillac was picked up, they delivered that it was a white Forenza. Look, I didn't care what color it was, what it was. I had a car. I wasn't in prison out there on that ranch. And then we moved into our house. And January of 84, it's all mixed up, it doesn't matter. Moved into our house in December 24th of 1985 in Kerrville. January 1, I went to work. And by June, we were back in a caddy. So from zero to hero. And then from June of that year until today, we've only missed the top trip 1 year in all of these years. And I'm not even going to go into the whole emotional roller coaster of having more babies and being in a really unhealthy marriage for a very long time. Most of y'all know, Dean and I just got married a few weeks ago. I have no complaints, no regrets. I've tapped it out every day of my life the best I could. Nursed my babies. I never even fed them baby food out of a jar. I was a complete smother mother, probably because of my history. I would boil the carrots. I was organic before it was cool, and I would hand grind them. I wouldn't even put them into a blender. I would hand grind them, put them in ice cube trays, break them out, put them in Ziploc baggies and freeze them. That was baby food. So I was obsessed, okay? But that's just kind of who I am with all areas of my life. Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. Whether you do your Miracle business 1 hour a year or 10 hours a day, do it well. Wear it with pride. Be your best. Use all the product. Learn about the product. If you just gain 1 new customer a week, in a year you've got 50. Now that is good money. That's residual income for the rest of your life. And so that was just kind of like the history. And then I was kicking along I love being an independent sales director. I loved having my team. I loved going on top director trips. And then I got pregnant and I was almost 40. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was very happy, but it was a surprise. It was a welcome surprise. That's when everything changed for me because I was so comfortable with where I was in the business. But all of a sudden I was pregnant and I wanted to nurse that baby and stay home for 6 months. So how do you handle a change in your life? I love the way I thought about it. I jump started. I thought, oh my God, if I really kicked it in for 6 months and held more parties and personally recruited and built my unit numbers and built more reds and had more stars, if I was all in for 6 months, then I took off for 6 months and held that baby boy, then I would end up at the same time. I didn't want to lose the trip. For me, the top director trips were everything. For 2 reasons. One, I knew if I changed my circle of influence, it would change me. And because of my history, I was a very insecure young woman. And I believed with all my heart, if I would expose my husband to men that loved the Lord, loved their wives, and understood this Mary Kay business, it would change my marriage. And I was willing to do anything for having to have those opportunities. And I was not going to miss that. I yearned for it. I wanted to grow. That was my favorite place to go to grow. I didn't care where we went. I didn't care what the hotel looked like. That's not why I was working for it. I was working for it because I knew it would change me, and it did. That's the truth. So I thought if I could double my business, and I want you to think about that. If you double your business for a little window, what could happen? What could happen? No matter where you are, whether you're big or little. And that's what I did. I'm telling you with a passion, because that baby depended on it. See, your goals have to move you, or you will take the path of least resistance. It's just the way it is. That's why I read the comfort zone. You will stay in your comfort zone, but there really is no comfort in a comfort zone. And so double we did. And literally I had the number, my unit members that I needed to double, everything that I needed to double. And I remember it like yesterday. I hit the number and the doctor said, push. I was working, talk about finish, down to the wire. And I believed that would carry me forward for 6 months and I would end up at the same time. But what happened was when you decide whether it's working virtually, how many parties you're going to do, how many 12 days of faves you're going to sell, how many gold medals you're going to get. It's all the same game. But if the why is clear, the how-to will come. Okay. And what happened from that was we grew. We had only ever done the top director trip. I never dreamed of doing the extended trip because I was just happy camper doing the top trip. Well, when we grew our unit so big, so fast, in 6 months doubled, the next seminar year, we hit the extended trip, which is 800,000. I was like, oh my God. Well, I'd never been on the extended trip with an exclusive group of people. It was a game changer. I was like, I missed out on this all these years. What was I thinking? And that 800,000, when you're at 8, I could see million. And I thought, wow. And plus, by the time that happened, I was nursing the baby for 6 months, and I wasn't nursing him. So life opened up a little bit more. And we did the million that next year. And then we were top 3 in the seminar, which was, I never dreamed of that. So I just want y'all to know that when you're obedient to do the work and you have a little goal, you break it into bite-sized pieces, like a $300 a week to be a star consultant. That would put you at Sapphire, right? So you break it down into bite-sized pieces. Once we hit the million and we were top 3, I got to give a speech. I was so, if y'all know how scared I scared the company to death. I went in the bathroom. This is true. I stayed up all night. I threw up. I was so scared. And I have the hardest time writing a speech anyway. And I got in the bathroom in the stall backstage and I shut the door. And I was in there just freaking. I was completely having a panic attack. And the company came and knocked on that metal door in that bathroom. Cindy, are you okay? And I would say, yes, I'm okay. Then they come back, Cindy. I said, yes, I'm going to be okay. Cindy, it's time to go on stage. And with sweat pouring, I unlocked the door and just had to walk in faith because I was so afraid. But it was probably the best speech I've ever given because, when you want to do your best, when there's something inside of you that wants more, then you will grow. And so that was in 1997. And when you're top 3, I could see queen. And Pam Shaw was the queen in 97. Robin Rowland was number 2 and I was number 3 because we've got the picture. Me and Robin had identical dresses on and Pam had a beautiful white dress. She looked like I think it was a wedding dress. I think it was a Vera Wang wedding dress. It was white. And me and Robin fixed her dress all night. We pretend like we were the bridesmaids. It was the funnest night of my life. But I saw Thomas on the stage and Pam and Jerry, and Carl Andrew and Thomas are only a year apart. And when I saw Thomas, I could see my son, all 3 of my sons on the stage. And I walked off that stage at Seminar 1997 as $1 million director. And I knew I could lead my unit to number 1 if I gave it all I had. And I did. And we went from $1 million to $1,450,000. And then we were number 1. Then we were number 1 again. And the next year, and 99, and we only did $1,250,000 because honestly, we had done it and it was fun and I love being number 1, but it wasn't the same as the first time. And I was backstage fixing to go up again for being number 1 the second time. And God is my witness, y'all. It just came all over me. And I love being the queen in 98, probably more than anybody. It was unbelievable, but it was different the second time. I was standing backstage. The kids were there again, but they had done it already before too. And I thought it's time to crown the queen and not be the queen. And I walked on the stage and accepted the awards for leading my unit to number 1 again, 1.25 million. But I told the audience we're going to become a national area. And we finished. And it's only when your mind changes, everything changes. And then we debuted as a national area. And I said on the stage, we will be the number 1 national area in Mary Kay. I was a kid. We had never had a director earn a trip. Just so you know, we weren't strong. The company even coached me for 2 hours that I shouldn't become a national right then because my team wasn't strong enough. And I just looked at them and said, this is not a business decision. I've never made a business decision in my life. This is a hard decision and I'm crossing over. So you better get your pen out and sign your paper because I'm ready. My spirit's soaring. And we finished and we went on to become, this was our 13th year to do Inner Circle. Now we have 2 offspring nationals, Tammy and Mary, and Carmen is right there. I think there's going to be so many more. I pray that all of you will work hard to finish while I'm an active national. But ultimately, as long as you reach the goal, it has really nothing to do with me and everything to do with you and your people and your leadership and you being the good shepherd. And I believe it will happen, but I believe you have to dig down deep and really look at what you want and why you want. The how to is not very complicated. You know, today they've actually made it simpler. I hate COVID because of all the frapping anxiety and fear and upheaval in my country. It's like, what are you doing? There's one God and we're one nation under God. And it's just makes me crazy. That's why I can't look at it. I have to block it out. I can't even believe it. All I can do is work and pray and vote and pay a lot of taxes. I do. I pay a lot of taxes and pray that they do the right things with that money. But that's it, you guys. And I get caught up in the fray. So I can't go there. I just can't. I mean, even last night, it was a Friday night and Dean wanted to go to dinner. And I said, no, I'm staying home. I want to be ready for in the morning. I feel so passionate about tomorrow. And he said, okay. So we went, we're such a cool couple. He can go to dinner without me. I can go to dinner without him. It's just so easy. And if your relationship isn't easy, then work on it. It should be easy. It should be two become one, full of peace and joy and not conflict or comparison or whatever. I think I'm the happiest person in the whole wide world. And I hope and pray that I can give that to you, that through this Mary Kay career, I've grown into more of who God wants me to be, imperfect, but still my same issues, OMG. But every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. The rest of my life is the best of my life. I can be a victim or a victor. I choose victory. I open my funnel every single day. I drink in the blessings of our God. And I have been a little paralyzed with this technology stuff, but no more. That's ridiculous. So we're going to figure it out. Just like I figured it out when I was pregnant, just like I figured it out when I was a brand new consultant, didn't know how to wear makeup. So I'm going to read this too. There's things that I listen to and read. I have my Courage to Change book. I love Al-Anon. I'm a child of an alcoholic and of a lot of craziness and abuse. There are simple things out there that you can find. They're free, for goodness sake. Search them out. You know, my Bible, my Al-Anon book, all my books are sitting right here that I go to, not every day. Today I got up and I actually read through a lot of my training. I have this much training stuff I've said over the years, trying to figure out what to really focus on for you. But this I want to read to you. This is out of my Image of Excellence, which I gave to a lot of my directors. I think they're not in print anymore, but I found a bunch of them. Most of them were used, but this is what it looks like. But it's Jackie gave it to me when I don't know when, but I just love it. You know, and I have stuff everywhere. Like this says, character is revealed in adversity, not created. You know, I just have things up everywhere that I get to look at to remind me to be super bad, to, be an overcomer. This is out of Image of Excellence. The nose of the bulldog is slanted backward, so he continues to breathe without letting go. Winston Churchill said that. Persistent people begin their success where most others quit. And this is a Christian book. So it says, we Christians need to be known as people of persistence and endurance. One person with commitment, persistence, and endurance will accomplish more than 1,000 people with interest alone. In Hebrews 12:1, we read, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, unquote. The more diligently we work, the harder it is to quit. Persistence is a habit, and so is quitting. Never worry about how much money, ability, or equipment you are starting with. Just begin with $1 million worth of determination. Remember, it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have that makes all the difference. Many people begin the good fight of faith, but they forget to add patience, persistence, and endurance to their enthusiasm. Josh Billings says, consider the postage stamp. Its usefulness consists in the ability to stick to something until it gets there. You and I should be known as postage stamp Christians. So there's just so many things that I look at and read and remember every day. My 3 keys to success are never be disappointed. Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart, it's the wellspring of life. Number 2, gain wisdom. For me, building a successful business brings wisdom. This leadership position requires all of me. It requires me to break through strongholds, slay dragons from my past, stop the generational curse of being a victim. To build a successful Mary Kay career, I cannot stand outside the fire. No pain, no gain. To build a successful customer base, to make a stranger a friend, build relationship and trust with her, to book her, coach her, sell her product, recruit her, and then teach her how to do what I have done, to pass it on, to pour belief into others, to educate, inspire, counsel, motivate, coach, to empty my cup. This is the road less traveled by. It is not the easiest road, but for me, it's the road to wisdom. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is supreme, therefore get wisdom. Though it cost you all you have, get understanding. Esteem her and she will exalt you. Embrace her, she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace upon your head and present you with a crown of splendor. And then number 3, influence others. For me, guarding my heart and gaining wisdom brings inner peace. And when we have peace, we can pass it on. Based on scripture, Titus 2:3. Likewise, teach the older women to be reverent in the way they live, not to be slanderers or addicted to too much wine, but to teach what is good. Then they can train the younger women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled and pure, to be busy at home, to be kind, to be subject to their husbands, so that no one will malign the word of God. So go find the things that move your spirit. These are things that I have in my stacks of folders that I can look at. My comfort zone from the very beginning, quotes. And the greatest thing you can do in Mary Kay, lead self to lead others, is go and build a successful business, whatever that looks like. Make some money. Oh, I mean, really and truly, whether it's with your customers, to learn to grow, to be a star, to get your present, to build your business, to build your team, then to show your quality of life. Do people really want? Are you living your faith, your family, and career? And don't be judgmental, okay? It's so easy to throw rocks, but remember, we all live in a glass house. And I would have been the legalistic Christian if life had not evolved the way it did. So I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying, be careful, run your race. Don't look at right or left. Be true to who your alignment with your Heavenly Father, your good Father, the Holy Spirit, and to thine own self be true. And then have fun. People want to know, they need to seek out what you have to offer. And it's not just making a living, it's making a life. But I'm going to tell you, be honest, sometimes, I would put my kids to bed and I would stay up 3 or 4 hours. Nobody even knew it, to get my thank you cards written. Being an entrepreneur, it's not how many hours a week you work, it's what do you get done. And for me to be the wife and mother I wanted to be at that season for my life, for me to do my job to the best of my ability, and because of my personal issues, a lot of things are harder for me than for other people. I just burnt the midnight oil, 1 or 2 nights a week, just like you would if you were trying to get a higher education and going to college, or if your baby's sick. I never thought of it as a sacrifice. I thought of it as an investment into myself, into my future. And then you want people to want your job. When you help enough people get what they want, then you will get what you want. So really, I learned early that I could not do it all. You need a great CPA. You need a great wellness doctor, Dr. Barlow. I can give a commercial for him. He's been my doctor for a long, long time. And I know I've studied and read up that I need to be taking 50 milligrams of vitamin zinc every day. I need to be taking my vitamin D3, 500 IU, whatever they are. And as much vitamin C as you can take. And I don't like swallowing all those pills. You can get powdered C. And one of these little teaspoons, this fourth of a teaspoon, this little thing is 1 gram. It's little bitty. See how little that is? And so I can take, 5-6 grams of C a day by just drinking it, gulping it down. I put my vitamins in little packages, little healthy habits, you guys. How do you do it all? How do I stay healthy and happy and have so much energy? Part of it's genetic, part of it's being happy, part of it's I eat well, all those things work together. I'm not saying, it's not fair, and it's, some people just have different things, but I'm highly favored that I have such good health. But I've been taking the mother load of supplements my whole entire life, and I've almost always eaten healthy. It actually started from Carl, my first husband. He was so sick most of our life. So I had to learn early marriage to really, get the best foods in his body to try to help him get better. So a bad thing ended up being a very good thing. So I just wanted to share with you some other little things. Your temptation basket, I carry this with me. I sold the body butter. You have one that's your tester, the little spatula, and these hydrogel eye patches. I can't tell you, I sell them every day because I have one to show. I put it on the back of their hand, let us smell it, let her rub it in. I think everybody in the world needs CC cream, so I have the CC creams there. I keep my lookbooks, and I've got sales tickets in here. I've got my recruiting brochure. I just always have it with me. I think it's super fun. And I love my label maker. I label everything. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. I can't see anymore. I was just going to tell you a couple of organization things. I keep my eyeshadows alpha. Those are my eyes and cheeks. And I got pressed powders and another one. This isn't that many. I used to have a lot more inventory. I don't as much. I'll just cut something out of the applause, and I just stuck it on the top of the box. I'm always doing that when I can see a window, like when the lookbook had the eye patch thing there. I keep that in my temptation basket to show them exactly where to put it. So that would actually go right here. So I can show them exactly where to put the eye patches. And the pictures is 1,000 words. This is one that was in a lookbook when charcoal mask first came out. So I kept that one with the charcoal mask so I can show people that's where you put it. Plus that's really sexy. And so I just keep that in my inventory closet. You know, I took my Naturally line and took it out of the boxes and put some shred, and the lookbook that featured the Naturally line, I slipped that in there. These are Og Bunny, AUGBUNNY. Gina Beck turned me on to them, and I got them off of Amazon. I love these clear bags to keep things pretty. I've got this on my desk because we ranked #2, which is rare, and it was so exciting. So that motivates me. Congratulations, go team. I even pulled this out because I'm going to give some things away. So this is a Mary Kay Monopoly set. I won for the 50th anniversary, and I've got 3 of them. It was a star prize because I wanted them so bad. This was never even been open. So I thought, how fun would that be in this final year to be giving some of my treasures. I don't need 3 Monopoly sets. I just need 1. And then I've got my plaque. I mean, holy moly, who would think a little girl from Louisiana could earn $9 million? Are you kidding me? Which averages over $250,000 a year for 39 years. That's crazy. So I wanted you today just to kind of walk you through my beginnings, that brand new beauty consultant that was scared to death and did Christmas sales. And then that grew into me. I became unafraid of doing a skincare class because I just realized everyone's a hot mess, you guys. They're not judging you. They're so worried about their own stuff. And I think everybody needs Mary Kay. They need the product. I think it's the best product you can buy. I think you can spend more money, but you can't buy better. And I've been 100% faithful to this product for 39 years, 100%. Even the years I couldn't wear the lipstick. I think some of y'all remember. We used to have lipstick in little pots, and it came out within a tube, and it blistered my lips like crazy. I just set them little tubes aside, and for probably 10 years, I used my old lipsticks. And people would laugh at me because I would have it in my purse, but I was still loyal to Mary Kay, even though I couldn't use the new lipstick. And today, the only thing I cannot use is the eye primer. It makes my eyes itch. So I use Deep Ivory concealer on my eyelids. Robert Jones taught me that, and it works great. And I pretty much wear the same eyeshadow every day, the same cheek. I'm still not glamorous. I'm never going to be glamorous. And I wore my necklace today to show you. This is our October prize. And these are Mary Kay earrings I won a long time ago, but they match. They've got that gunmetal gray to show you. I wore my ladder of success. You're still going to get your ladder when you've been a star consultant 56 quarters. I think it's 14 years. And that may sound like a long time, but it's not. If you just start tracking it. I was with Eileen Barlow the other day, and she said, I had on my pen, and she said, I wish I got that. And I said, well, see, she's been a star 51 quarters. So she only has a few more quarters. And these are encrusted in diamonds. They're magnificent. So set your goal. And for our national area, when you have 5 active people, when you're a team leader, then you get your victory pin because you are building your team. So I'm going to stop talking. Oh, my eye makeup is beautiful. Well, that's a miracle. And y'all, it's so funny. I always had these dark eyebrows and I had so much hair. And now I've gotten older. I'm like Mr. Spock. I just have this part. All that's pencil. It's like it just went away. What's up with that? I don't know. And I use I don't even know what color. The one that's kind of gold. Not all of them are matte. I don't wear anything sparkly anywhere on my face. I don't like sparkle. And I'm the reason that Mary Kay in the lookbook, they put an asterisk by the ones that are shimmer or matte, because I was like, I can't tell what to order. And even on, so they changed that for me. I was like, what in the world have y'all done? So they added the asterisk so that we could see. Oh, would you show the temptation? This is just, it's a square, clear thing, and I change it up, but right now I love the body butter and I love the eye patches. These are just things like when I went and got my hair done, that's what I took in there to sell them, and I did. I sold them CC cream, eye patches, and body butter because I want my money back. And so right now it changes up, but this I think I probably got at the Container Store. It's little, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Oh, what are you asking me to show the 12 days of fave? Is that what somebody said? Oh, Corby, help me. Oh, y'all, this one, here it is. This is the box. It's limited edition. I can't believe they still have them. Y'all should go order them today. I mean, this is a no-brainer. You know, this is not just for Christmas. This is 12 days of anything. And yes, you can give them for your own gift giving, so that only costs you $50. But I personally would sell these and give something else for Christmas because these are so easy to sell. So I would not give these away unless they give us an opportunity to get more. I'm going to have my $1,000 retail from these puppies and it retails for, I think, $127, $128, and only costs you $99. So, and on the sleeve on the back of the box, it shows every product that comes in it. Hydrogel eye patches, foundation primer, eye makeup remover, sheer illusion lip gloss, the minis of the mascara black, they get 6 of those. Y'all know, just read it. Go look on InTouch. So there you go for that one. Yeah, body butter. Oh my God, when they had that last year, just limited edition, I think I ordered 30. And it's so funny, Tiffany Moth came over and asked me for one. I said, oh, no, those are my personal stash. I don't share when it's something I love. I got so much old stuff because if it's a favorite, I do not share. Okay, let's open this up. If you have any questions for me or comments, we're almost an hour in. Thank y'all for listening. You can unmute because it's hard for me to read the chat.
They can unmute at this point, but we had about 20 people that hopped on late, so they had missed the beginning about the 12 days sets and what limits are and maxing out and the importance and difference of ordering today versus this next week.
Well, number one, I talked about to be a team player. I mean, we get double credit this month and we really would love to be number one and finish strong. This is our last year. So if you just want to do it for me, order today because we get double credit on everything you do, and ranking is important. It also matters to your sales director. If you're running the race for ranking for mid-year, we'll recognize every consultant mid-year, and that'll be December 31st, how you're ranking for the year, as Mary Kay does also. And then we're working for Seminar 2021. It's our final seminar. So you can be in the top of the Victory family when you do 40,000 retail, which is only 20,000 wholesale, you guys, or 20,000 retail, which is just 10K wholesale. That puts you in my court. And right now you get double credit for 2,000 wholesale or less in this month. So if you did 2K wholesale, it counts for 4K retail, but they double it and it counts for 8K retail. Well, you only need 20K retail to be in my court of sales. So you could almost get halfway there in 1 month. So there's a lot of reasons for October to count. Plus the 12 days of fave and the hand sanitizers are limited. You're limited to 10, 12 days and 20 hand sanitizers. But these boxes, I don't know how many Mary Kay made. And we always oversell what they think we're gonna do. I'm surprised we still have them. So getting your order in immediately is just vital. You can pre-sell them if you want to, just by showing them on your closed Facebook groups or talking to people. I would carry these in my back seat, all 10 of them, until they were sold, because to me, it's a no-brainer. So the temptation, it could be anything. It's so funny. This is just clear and it's small enough that I can put it in the front of my grocery store basket or wherever I go and just say, oh, I just want to leave it in my car. So I love to sell. I'm a sales director. I'm not a coach. Mary Kay didn't title us mentors. She called you an independent sales director, an independent national sales director. I am proud to be in sales. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. Anybody else? Corby, make it so they can unmute if they want. You did. Okay, you can unmute. Oh, let me give a commercial too. I forgot. Next Saturday, we have the #1 salesperson in the world, Heather Faring, is going to be our teacher. She lives in North Dakota in a town of 100 people. She's been the queen of her seminar many times, in the top 10 forever. She's amazing. But I'm moving. I made an exec, not good for me because I don't like real early mornings, but because 10 o'clock Central Time is prime time on Saturday for you holding your own virtual parties. And I want you to have income producing opportunities, IPAs, not just training opportunities. So we're going to move. I think I got the clear box from the Container Store. Oh, I just cut a sleeve protector down, y'all. You see, I just cut it down. Just take a sleeve protector and cut it to fit the book. We're moving our time to 8:30 a.m. Central Time. So when we set the clock back, fall back on when the time change, when daylight saving times changes, that's when you're going to remember, oh, we're changing the time of Super Saturdays to 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Arizona, I think you're 7:30. I know California, you may be 6:30, but I just want to, the best I can do to make it. I think live is better. I think when you do it, the recording, you know, it's just not the same. There's power and energy in live. So I hope that you will stick with us. So next Saturday at 8:30, and y'all, what I noticed was almost no one has their camera on anyway. So I know you're up by that time of the morning. Most of them, I can't see you. You didn't put on your makeup anyway, so you might as well turn it on earlier. So we're changing the time, and next Saturday, Heather Faring is our teacher. Anybody else? Feedback or questions? Oh, the comfort zone. You know what? If you Google comfort zone, you'll pull up the comfort zone poem. It's everywhere on the computer now. I used to have a comfort zone. Another one that I love, and I tell you what, I'm going to let you ask a couple more questions or comments, and I'm going to close out with another thing I read all the time. You're amazing too. You know what? Y'all just be figure it outers. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You just got to see some people. You've got to build your customer base. You've got to build your team, or be happy where you are. You don't have to do it. I love you being in our business. If you just get your products at wholesale, then you're welcome to be a part of our club. Every order counts. We could be #1 by one personal use order in a year. So you matter to your team. You matter to me. Just have a little more courage so that you can grow your business. Oh, my best advice for new consultants starting today, just start. Don't wait to learn one more thing. Just get on a Facebook Live or a Zoom or something and show somebody how you use your product. That's just, I mean, that's all you have to do. How do you wash your face and put on your mascara? My advice would be earn while you learn. Stop trying to learn anything else. This is not rocket science. That's how come I've always done so well. I just taught people how to use Mary Kay. That's all there is to it. Anybody else? You can unmute if you want to say something. I think you can. You're all muted, so.
Cindy, I would like to say something.
Awesome.
This is Trish.
Hey, love you, Trish.
I just want to tell you, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm listening because you inspire me. So if I run while I'm listening to you, it makes me go faster. And I just love listening to your words and pouring into my ears to get my day started. And I love you so much. I love your words. I love your heart. And I can relate so much to what you say about being afraid. Of being around women and being yourself, not being yourself, but I grew up around men, and that was. I was in the military for 24 years, and I still is how do I be me in front of women? But I have learned that the women in this circle are not like what I ever imagined or put out there of my own fear. I think I put my own fears out there. So you have helped me overcome that and this circle of influence with all the girls in Mary Kay. So I just wanted to tell you thank you, and I love you so
Well, and
much.
you did such a great job on our Super Saturday the other day. So thank you so much. So yeah, I think most of this stuff I'm reading, I have it all copied in my notebooks, but I think it's all available when you just go and look for it, you know. So I'm going to close out with this last poem, or saying whatever, this last story, because it's about your goals. And y'all, without a goal, without a vision, people perish. A goal is vital. And I want you to set a goal you're going to hit. Promise me. Set a goal you're going to hit, because that will build your confidence. The little boy that cries wolf and cries wolf and cries wolf, you know the story, and there is no wolf. The biggest tragedy is the little boy quits believing himself. That's the tragedy. You must set a goal you hit, then raise the bar, peak to peak, peak over and set the next peak. And I would pray it's going to be Star Consultant minimum. And I would pray it's going to be gold medal minimum this month because of double credit. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to close out with this, because the goals are vital. This is a true story. Keep your goals in sight. When she looked ahead, Florence Chadwick saw nothing but a solid wall of fog. Her body was numb. She had been swimming for nearly 16 hours. Already, she was the first woman to swim the English Channel in both directions. Now at age 34, her goal was to become the first woman to swim from Catalina Island to the California coast. And those of us that were at Leadership Conference, we could see Catalina Island when we were there in California. On that 4th of July morning, 1952, the sea was like an ice bath, and the fog was so dense she could hardly see her support boats. Sharks cruised towards her lone figure, only to be driven away by rifle shots. Against the frigid grip of the sea, she struggled on, hour after hour, while millions watched on national television. Alongside once in one of the boats, her mother and her trainer offered encouragement. They told her it wasn't much farther, but all she could see was fog. They urged her not to quit. She never had quit until then. With only half a mile to go, she asked to be pulled out of the water. Still thawing her chilled body, several hours later, she told the reporter, "Look, I'm not excusing myself, but if I could have seen land, I might have made it. It was not fatigue or even cold water that defeated her. It was the fog. She was unable to see her goal." 2 months later, she tried again. This time, despite the same dense fog, she swam with her faith intact and her goal clearly pictured in her mind. She knew that somewhere behind that fog was land, and this time she made it. Florence Chadwick became the first woman to swim the Catalina Channel, eclipsing the men's record by 2 hours. So what's your goal? What's your why? I can't wait for you to share that with me. Let me know. You can send your emails to cindywilliamsnsd@me.com. You can Boxer me, Cindy Williams NSD. You can text me. The same number to get into this Zoom call is my cell phone number. I am an open book. I know you will respect my time and not waste it. That if you seek me out, it will be to share something you've gained or learned, something you're going to implement, because that's just who we are. So I'm proud to be your leader. And actually, this is a thought. Finish strong this October 31st. Look and see where you are. Go and get your orders in. Call your director and say, you can depend on me for this. And that could make a huge difference to your leader. And it definitely makes a huge difference to your national area. And then tomorrow, November 1, the clock will strike and we will begin a brand new month. It'll be my final October. Next October will be my last, next November is my last active month. It stops November the 30th, 2021. So we'll only get 2 more Novembers together. We only have this 1 more October together. Isn't that crazy? So I'm excited to have served you for 39 years. I promise you this, I will give it my best, and we will finish strong. So thank y'all for joining us today.
Thank you, Cindy.